We finally have an update on the drowning death of Malcolm-Jamal Warner. Now, according to ABC7, they stated that Malcolm-Jamal Warner had drowned while he was on vacation in Costa Rica. Now, the article goes on to say that Warner had drowned off the coast of Costa Rica on Sunday.
It's fragile, and in the blink of an eye,
you never know.
You never know. So speaking of legacy, what do you hope that your legacy is going to be?
There is part of me that I will be able to leave this earth, knowing and people knowing that I was a good person.
Something you long believed to be true but realized wasn't.
Well, as one of the main opponents of the Illuminati, I always wanted to know what information they had that we didn't.
So Katt Williams has been calling it out for years. If you don't follow Hollywood's script, especially as a black man, they'll push you to the sidelines.
I spent, so much of the early part of my life listening to, being celebrated on one hand, but paying way too much attention to the naysay.
And looking at Malcolm-Jamal Warner's story, it all starts to line up. He wasn't chasing clout. He wasn't out here doing roles that made black men look like jokes.
These are the first things we saw when we pulled up to the beach. Signs in Spanish and English warning people about potentially hazardous conditions. This sign even giving a roadmap for how to escape a rip current.
Nah, he actually turned those down. He refused to do that put on a dress and act goofy routine just to get airtime. And because of that, they benched him. Not because he lacked talent, he was clearly gifted, but because he didn't play the Hollywood game. But now that he's gone, all of a sudden the media is calling him a legend.
Rican Beach, where officials say a dangerous rip current swept away Malcolm-Jamal Warner. The Cosby Show star drowning in secluded paradise on Sunday.
What makes that beach so treacherous?
It's similar to other beaches where there are strong rip currents that are deceiving.
Mike Geist helps run a volunteer lifeguard organization here. He says while no lifeguards were on duty that day, Geist's friend, who happens to be a trained lifeguard, was there to surf and discovered Warner unresponsive in the water. Costa Rica's Red Cross says they were able to rescue another man alive who was taken to a clinic in critical condition.
Rica, Jesse, officials say Warner's autopsy is now complete.
It was completed this morning, according to authorities, Tom, and they say that it confirmed that Warner's drowning death was, in fact, an accident.
Celebs are acting like they've been fans from day one. Please, where was that love when he was alive? Where was all that support when he was out here doing meaningful work on his own terms? This ain't about some wild conspiracy. It's about a pattern that's way too familiar. Katt Williams has always been warning people about this industry. If you say no to the machine, they shut you out, plain and simple. So now it's time to really dig into what Katt's been exposing, what Malcolm actually represented, and why the sudden wave of praise only came after he passed away. Malcolm-Jamal Warner, best known for playing Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show, tragically passed on July 20th, 2025.
So even before conception, we were very clear we were having a girl. And I knew that I needed a girl first to kind of ease me into it, because I have a pretty good idea of what kind of father I would be.
Mm-hmm.
So I needed a girl to kind of, slow me down and warm, soften me up, if you will. So for me, raising my daughter, I came into fatherhood already with a certain maturity and certain understanding of male-female dynamics. And with a girl, all of that starts with the father. So I've always, since I literally pulled her out of.
He was vacationing in Limon, Costa Rica with his 8-year-old daughter when they got caught in a dangerous rip current while swimming. That beach is known for its rough waters, and sadly, there were no lifeguards on duty that day. Officials had moved resources to nearby beaches after a string of recent emergencies. Some nearby surfers saw Malcolm and his daughter fighting the waves. One of them managed to pull the little girl to safety, while another dove in to help Malcolm. But by the time emergency responders got there, it was too late. They couldn't save him. Malcolm tragically died from asphyxia by submersion. The brave surfer who tried to rescue him was rushed to a local hospital in critical condition. Later, the autopsy confirmed it. His death was a heartbreaking accident. And the reason this shook so many people? It's because Malcolm wasn't just any former child star. He was one of the few who never lost himself in the chaos of fame. No scandals, no drama, just straight excellence. Malcolm was a self-made multimillionaire, Emmy-nominated actor, Grammy-winning musician, skilled poet, respected director, and social activist. He was in a solid marriage. No divorces, no mess. A proud dad, with no drama or surprises. He lived clean and with purpose. Something you don't see too often in Hollywood.
There should be a moratorium on both of those words in hip-hop because it's low-lying fruit. It's so easy. Everybody fucking does it to the point that it's corny. Like there are MCs who I love, who I cannot listen to anymore because I love J. Cole, but I had to stop listening to J. Cole because I got tired of hearing nigga and bitch
as much
every two sentences because he's proven himself to be such a incredible lyricist
that you think it's just too low-hanging fruit for him to use those words.
I feel like
everybody who ever worked with him had nothing but love. He wasn't just talented, he was grounded, confident. A real man who didn't need to perform or fake it for anyone. And then, out of nowhere, he dies in a tragic beach accident at 54, in perfect health, while enjoying a dream trip with his family. It doesn't even feel real. The only sad part about Malcolm's story is that it ended too soon. But the life he lived, man, he aced it. But now we gotta talk about the part that no one wants to say out loud, how Hollywood completely ignored him while he was alive, and how what Katt Williams has been preaching for years fits perfectly right here. See, Malcolm didn't fade away. He didn't fall off. He just refused to sell out. After the Cosby Show, he could have chased flashy sitcoms, over-the-top comedy gigs, all that loud Hollywood nonsense, but he chose dignity instead. Instead of chasing fame, Malcolm kept it low-key and moved with purpose. He straight up said no to roles that made black men look dumb, loud, or cartoonish. No putting on dresses. No acting like a clown. No selling out for a cheap laugh. He was all about keeping it real. And this is where Katt Williams steps in.
Let's make choices. I think it's not a biggest choice for others. I'm saying at the end of the day, Kevin doesn't have to worry about what people are going to say about him wearing a dress because of the long line of dress wearing people before him. So now we have Big Mama's house 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. I've never seen Madea in a pantsuit. I think she wears dresses. So now I'm saying, why are we picking on poor little Kevin Hart? Because it was his turn next. Okay. Some of us are against the Illuminati, and we are against the Illuminati at our own detriment. When people are against the Illuminati, then they get punched in the face all the time. The press hates them, and nobody likes them. End quote.
We all love Dave Chappelle.
Exactly. Dave Chappelle has never been a part of the Illuminati. They don't want him or me or people like us.
He's been shouting this from the rooftops for years. Interviews, stand-up sets, podcasts. Katt's been exposing how black entertainers get boxed into roles and expected to play their part just to get ahead. Katt turned down the same type of nonsense. Loud suits, buffoonish roles, the whole act a fool routine. And because of that, they slapped labels on him. Crazy, unreliable, difficult. All because he wouldn't play along. And Malcolm? He was sharp, focused, and full of talent. But because he refused to shuck and jive for the camera, they kept him out the spotlight. But here's the kicker. He didn't need Hollywood. He was building his own lane and living well. He launched a podcast called Not All Hood, where he called out how mainstream media pushes one-dimensional images of black people like we're all the same.
Has never been a person that has been parodied 9 times on Saturday Night Live and yet never been invited other than me. I, at this point, take it as a badge of honor that they don't fuck with me. a lot of times when people are doing an impression of you, they're really showing you how they feel about you. You know what I mean? So for Saturday Night Live to have an impression of me and have a woman do that means they think I'm a bitch. And I understand that that's what they're saying when they do that. I understand how the game goes, and I understand that if you love me, I know why you do. And if you don't with me, I understand why.
Instead of giving in to the industry's fake love, Malcolm used his platform for truth. He worked on projects about social justice and real education. He acted in and produced plays and documentaries that told the real stories about Black history, about systemic racism, about things that actually matter. And in 2021, he dropped a whole op-ed for the Television Academy that called them out. Malcolm wrote that white executives, producers, writers, and directors are still the ones controlling how Black people get shown on TV.
Title is combating the narrative of Black life, Black culture that the media focuses on. And
that we're all one thing.
Yeah, and the whole concept is, we're not all hood. The Black community is not a monolith.
He said that even when it looks like Black creatives are getting some say, it's just a trick. The stereotypes stay alive, just dressed up in better clothes and higher paychecks. He didn't stop there. Malcolm also went after modern rap and hip-hop, slamming the misogyny and toxic masculinity. He pushed for healing, for accountability, for growth in the culture. Now that's a man who stood on principle. Some folks might have thought Malcolm was just being too deep, or that his words were too much. But when that whole Kendrick versus Drake battle went viral last year, Malcolm didn't hold his tongue. He called it out, saying hip-hop only gets attention when it's spreading negativity, never when it's uplifting or conscious. He wasn't trying to play nice. He was calling it exactly how he saw it.
Beef, which, they talk about how much they hate each other and give all these references to violence and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think, even though we enjoy those songs and they're bops, do you think that has a detrimental impact upon the culture ultimately?
Ultimately, yes. It's been normalized for, us to call ourselves the N-word, right? And we like to talk about how we've taken the power of that word back. But I'm of the school of thought. If I'm trying to speak love and upliftment to my brother, why am I going to borrow a word from people who use the word because they hate me? But we get caught up in, we're turning the N-word into a positive. But our music is not reflecting positivity, love, and upliftment of our culture. And we're at a point now where so much of especially our music, so much of our Black music, when you strip away the music and just listen to the lyrics, so much of our Black music is really anti-Black.
Oh, you think so?
When you think about it, you almost cannot have hip hop without talking about drugs, using the N-word, and murking somebody.
Right.
Or calling a female, a bitch or a hoe. Like that's become we've normalized that so much that I think we need a space where we can say, wait a minute, that's not all who we are.
So when Katt Williams says the industry only supports you when they control the story, this right here is what he means. Malcolm wasn't out here trying to be a cartoon version of a Black man. He wanted to show that we're real, smart, complex, and human. But people kept trying to box him in. They wanted him stuck in that former teen heartthrob role or playing some goofy sidekick, but he wasn't with it. He turned down roles that would have made him more famous but stripped away his respect. Meanwhile, other Black actors in his era were blowing up doing exactly what he refused to, diving headfirst into stereotypes, chasing those checks, doing whatever it took to shine. And for some of them, it worked. But that was never Malcolm's path. He kept it real, and it cost him. In interviews, he even mentioned how folks from his own team told him he was too serious and not marketable enough. Translation? Too Black, too smart, too principled. And when you don't fit the mold, they stop picking up the phone. That's exactly what Katt's been screaming. If you don't play the fool or sign up for the humiliation game, they wipe you off the board. But now that Malcolm's gone, Hollywood and the media are suddenly acting like he was their favorite all along. Floods of tributes, social media praise, long articles calling him a legend, a pioneer. But where was all this when he needed it? He didn't chase clout. He didn't bend for the industry. And because of that, the big award shows and media platforms barely gave him the time of day. But now, you got streaming platforms hyping unreleased projects with his name. Networks planning tributes. Celebs sharing emotional stories like they were always close. It's like overnight, Malcolm became the safe black legend. Because now, he can't speak for himself. Now everybody wants to celebrate him. But that's straight out of the industry's old playbook.
How people feel about the ritual. It's about does following the ritual work. Yeah. And so you can fool yourself into thinking there isn't one, but the evidence will be clear. So like when I be like, oh, these guys are wearing dresses. Everybody's like, oh, he keeps talking about people wearing dresses. No, it's not.
It's a weird thing.
It's not like that. Look at it from a different way. Look at it. Show me one person that ever wore a dress in Hollywood unsuccessfully.
They don't show love to people who stand on principle while they're alive. They wait until it's safe. When they can flip your image into a brand, collect some woke points and cash in. Katt Williams called this out years ago. The system only shines the spotlight when they've got control, when the person can't push back anymore. So let's be real. Is this wave of love genuine respect, or just another Hollywood cleanup job after the fact? Malcolm didn't sell out. That's what made him a target, not a favorite. His career wasn't quiet because he couldn't make it. It was quiet because he refused to play by the rules. Malcolm-Jamal Warner wasn't just some celebrity. He was one of the rare ones, grounded, smart, and committed to values in an industry that rewards fakeness. While others chased clout, he moved with purpose. And for that, they overlooked him, until now. His passing is more than just a tragedy, it's a wake-up call. How often do we see someone walk through Hollywood with integrity and not get erased? But now it's your turn to speak up. Was Malcolm really pushed aside for staying real? Why does it always take someone dying before they get their flowers? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We're watching them all. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if you felt it. And I'll catch you in the next one.